Okay, so yesterday we have seen this program. Okay, so one more thing we can do with this program. So we have seen how can we use form perform and the different uh, like events in ABAP. So if, for example, if I have any local variable, so how can we declare local variable? So for example, here we can declare one local variable, or here, for example, in get marcy. So let me declare. So whatever I will declare inside form and form, that variable will be local. So I'm giving, I can give any name. So I'm giving LV flag, and here I am giving type, for example, char1, and value, I'm assigning default value X. So this is how I can assign default value to any variable. Okay, and I'm activating this. Okay, and now if I want to call any other form from here, also I can call any form. So for example, I can call perform, and I can create one new form. So I'm giving check flag, and I can have here using. So this using is nothing but, with the help of this using, I can pass this flag. So for example, lb underscore flag, okay, into this form. And also if I want to change anything, I can use changing, or okay, 1 minute. So for example, I can save it, and I can create this form. Okay, I want to create where in F01, and here I can print the value of that local variables. For example, I can use write, and I can have local variable value is, and we can have value of p underscore lb flag. So this, that value will be passed here in my this local variable. Okay, or this you can say parameter. So now if I try to execute this program, so let's put a breakpoint over here, and also from where we have called this. So when I double click it, I can see from where it is called. So let's double click this. So we can see here we have called this from here. So I can put one breakpoint here also, and now let's execute. So I am just executing directly. Okay, okay, so it has stopped here, and lv flag, you can see it is having value of X. Now if I go inside this, here in this X value has passed here, right? And now it will be printed. So if I do F8, it will print this value along with the output, because we have already printing our output. So you can see the local variable value is X. So this is how we can pass the value into one program. For example, let's create one new program quickly. Okay, okay, let's create a new program. For example, I'm creating one more program, fifth, and test Kelsey program, for example. And this program is nothing but a executable program. Let's save it. And here quickly let me create, for example, one form, or include g underscore fifth, yeah, g fifth, underscore top control CA, whatever this control as. Okay. And here let's have selection screen, for example, and F01. Okay. And now I want to validate something. So at selection screen, for example, I will write, and then I will be having end of selection because I do not want to select anything. Okay. So as of now, I'm just creating all these three quickly. Okay. So I'm just creating this include. So last class we have already seen how it is getting created. So let's save it. Okay, let's activate. So I'm activating all the four. Nice. Now in selection screen, I want, for example, two input. So how can I get input? Parameters. And here we can have P underscore A type I, for example, and P underscore B type I. Okay, we can also have those things which we have. So what is that? Start of selection screen, begin of screen. No. Begin of what was the syntax, Avnisha?
Begin of block.
Okay, begin of selection screen or begin of block. Let me check.
नहीं first it is select
Selection screen, right?
selection yeah, after that it is begin of.
Okay, begin of it is like this, or I am very poor to remember.
Yeah, that one. When it just do the tap
Begin
now,
of
begin of
block. Okay,
yeah, BK1.
and here we can give any text, right? 001. And here selection screen and of block, and here we can give block, for example, B1. And heading, how can I print? With title, with frame title.
Title. And in text we can double click and give the
Okay, and here this text we can create. So let's create. So here we can create selection text, headings, and text symbol. So this is text symbol. So select input for calculation, for example. And here, okay, this is not come yet. So let's activate this, come back, and let's activate this too. And this text also we can maintain here. So selection text, I can come here and maintain like input for A and B. Okay, so now I have created this, and now if I execute my program, for example, I will get this screen, and this is nice. And here I can give two input and click on execute. So here I want to check like the second value should not be 0, the value of b. So how can I check? So I can write perform validate, and if any doubt you can stop me there. Okay, so I'm writing this perform validate b. Okay, and here I can create my f01, and here I can write if b is initial, then we can give message input b cannot be initial, type e. Okay, we have to activate both together. Okay, something wrong. Sorry. Okay, so it is p underscore. What was the name? P underscore input b. Let me check the name. What was the name? In selection p underscore b. Okay, p underscore b. Okay, so for example, if I execute this and if I press enter, it will tell like b cannot be initial, and if I put some value here, it will not be initial. Fine. Now what I want to perform some of, for example, add operation. Okay, so how can I perform? So I will write perform, for example, calculate, and here I can, so I can pass using, that is global variable, so it will be available, so I'm not writing using, but I want to change. Okay, something here, so changing parameter I can pass. So changing is using and changing, what is the difference? So when whatever we will pass in using, we cannot change the value of that parameter inside our form, but whatever we will pass in our changing parameter, we can change the value and it will reflect here. So let me create one more type here, one more data, for example, output type I. Okay, and now let me pass this output here. So changing output, okay, let me save this and let me create this f01. So here I can write p underscore output equals to p underscore a plus p underscore b. Okay, and then I want to print this. So how can I print? Perform print output. Okay, and I can pass this as a using output. So what it will do? Okay, p underscore output. So here we can write p underscore out. So it will print output. So let's execute this small program. So if I insert 23 and 3 here and click on execute, I will get this output. So any doubt here in this program? This is very simple program. Why I have written this program? Because I want to just demonstrate how we can use changing and using parameter.
Yeah,
Okay.
Abhishek, can you just explain again the using output? Because changing, I get we can give the input in that, but what is the use of using output?
So for example, if this is a local variable, okay, as of now it
Okay.
is global, but for example, if it is local, so how it is local? So let me change this little bit. For example, I am not writing here this output, okay, and let me save this. And in this calculate, I don't have this, right?
Yeah.
And instead of this, here I can, so here I have defined this output, okay, and now I have to print output, okay. So if I write this output over here, it will give me
Mm.
error because this is local, right? I cannot print this output directly here. Okay, let me, okay, let me remove this here, for example, and let's get inside this. And after calculation, I want to print this, okay. And now I am not using this using,
Yeah. Okay.
okay. Or for example, let it be like that only. Control Z, 1 minute. I am commenting this for now, okay. Save, and here let me do Control Z. Okay. Okay, so now if you see here, like what is the problem in this program? So in calculate, okay, what I have done, I have declared this local variable, I have done the output inside this, right? And
Yeah.
now I want to print this output. If I call this output from here, can I get that output?
No.
No, right?
First it will execute. Yeah.
So if I try to activate this, for example, let me select both. See what error I am getting. So it is telling like output is unknown, right?
Yeah.
And we can remove this also because, or okay, so this output is unknown because we have
Mm.
not passed this output over here, or it is not a global, right? It is declared here
Yeah.
inside this. So it means the
Yeah.
scope of this output only this.
Yeah. Mm.
Are you getting me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, now if I make it changing, for example, here if I make it changing, okay, and if I declare this output here, for example, data output type I, okay, and if I pass this output here, so what it will do, it will change the value of output here, and then I will pass this output here for use. And if I try to change this output here, for example, here, let me go inside this here, and now this is a changing parameter, right? So I will write changing p underscore, anything I can write here. So p underscore output. And now what I can do, p underscore output equals to, I will give this. Okay. Now what it will do, let me activate this. 1 minute. So this is again p underscore output. Ah,
The
sorry, spelling
no
mistake, my
output.
bad.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so see how it is working. Let me put the breakpoint and give some value. For example, 23 and 4. Click on execute button. Okay, so it is coming here. Okay. Now if you see, the value of output is 0.
Yeah.
If I come inside and output is assigned to what, this, right? So whatever
Yeah.
value
Right.
we will pass here, it will reflect to this output. So if I come here, you can see this output is having now 27,
27.
and
Yeah.
now we are using this 27 value to print. Okay, so if I get inside, I can write this, so it will print 27. For example, in case of using, so here I have used this, right, using.
Yeah.
And if I want to change this value, for example, p underscore output equals to 10, if I want to do this, and if I try to activate this, let's see how it is behaving. So yeah, it is allowing, but it should not somehow. So whatever we are passing in using, we should not change that value actually. Uh, whether it is changing, 1 minute. So let's print this. Okay, so let's write this output again here. Okay, write output here also, activate this and write output here. Let's activate this, execute, and give some value 12 plus 3. Now execute. So first of all, it will calculate output value. So currently output is 0. It has calculated output as 15,
Mm.
and now it will print 15. Inside this, it has changed output to 10. Now it
10.
will print 10. So 15, 10, 10. Actually, this using, like we are using when we do not want to change this value, and changing when we are using when we want to change the value. That's the only difference. So when we debug the program, like our developer can understand, okay, this value we are changing inside this, and this value we are using inside this. That's all. That's the only difference.
Abhishek, changing means where we are changing the value.
Changing means we are changing this value inside this form. Okay, so here you can see we have passed 0 here, but we have changed that 0 to the output of this. Like we have calculated this and assigned into this changing, but this
Okay.
is not recommended actually.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do your program check, for example, if you do this check, extended program check, so this extended program check is nothing but it is checking our program, like how our program, like performance and like guideline wise how our program has written. So this will generate a report, this extend check. So this is our action system syntax check. So it will take some time because I am running first time in this system. So it will generate a report for us. Okay, so you can see here it is having this one field attribute issue, and what
Output
it is
is not
saying,
referred.
field output is not referenced statically in the program. We can double click and check. Okay, so here what error it is giving, so we have given this like we have defined this output, but we have not used this, right? So it is telling like you have defined this, you have not referenced directly in the program, मतलब use नहीं किया ये हमने field output. तो क्या करना चाहिए, इसको हमें remove कर देना चाहिए because it does not make any sense. This is how we can check our program also. So this statement is not required. So sometimes what happened, we have some state, we are defining something but we are not using that, or we are using, and after some time that is not required, so we are not deleting the declaration, but we are commenting the logic, that's all. Like this, so we have commented the logic, but we have not declared that. So this is the one example. Okay, so what you guys to try, so you have to create the similar program where you have to pass one more field for calculation, like calculation sign. So if I pass plus, minus, or division or multiplication, any sign over here, it should display a result based on that side. Okay, are you
Okay.
getting that requirement? So we have to create one more field here, input field. That field I will enter the sign, for example input A, then that sign field, and input B, and then your output should print based on that sign.
Okay.
Okay, and we have to check input B should not be initial, only in case of division, and otherwise it can be initial. Okay, so that you have
Um,
to do.
yeah, but I did not understand the concept of changing and using again. Sorry, but
Okay,
can you repeat?
for example, if I have to pass any, see, for global variable is available everywhere, right? This you understand, right? Whatever we will define here, it will be available everywhere,
Yes.
right?
So whatever
Now,
we define inside the include, it is considered as a global variable.
yeah, and the top.
Uh, in top, but
Top
you
means in the
define.
top of the program. So this include
Uh,
is our top of the program. For
okay, in
example,
the
if
top of
I,
the include or
no
top
no
of the
in,
program.
like include is our first statement, right?
Hmm.
So it is
Yes.
anyway, it is top.
Okay.
If I, for example, if I define something here, for, let me define something here, data, for example input type I have defined this, right? This is also global, but this is not
Okay.
global for these two. Why?
Okay.
Because I have defined, we have not
After that.
defined this, yeah, in the top.
Mhm. Okay. So if I define this data input type I before include top.
Yeah, here also you can define, or inside this also you can decide.
Okay.
Why we have created this? Because we want to
Mhm.
define everything inside this, so that we can
Okay.
segregate our logic. So अगर आपको
Mhm.
कुछ check करना है कि what all types we have, like we were seeing your program, right? And what the problem with that program is, like they have written everything in single page, right? And it is difficult
Okay.
to understand sometime.
Hmm.
So it's better we
Yes.
can have separate types, separate selection scheme, and separate this logic and separate calling logic.
Yeah, but here we have not defined inside top include. We have defined the
Here, right?
variables here
So
and
this is again
in,
a global. Okay,
okay.
this
This
is
is
again. Mhm.
global for all three include or just for that perform.
So it is global for like all these two perform, you can say,
Okay, but not for that three include.
right?
Okay, and we have defined the logic inside the selection. No, not
So the
in.
best place to define this here actually.
Yes.
I have just defined there to make
Uh,
short, but the best practice to define here.
okay, and we have not defined the selection screen
We have
inside
defined
quick
selection
select.
scheme.
Okay, and here what is this? The significance of screen begin of block B1 with frame title
Okay,
text
so
zero
if
zero one.
so, just first see this output. Okay,
Hmm.
and now let me remove this row. So it is just creating a block, nothing more, and title
Block
in
means
the selection screen.
okay.
So if I execute this, see the difference.
Okay.
Are you finding any difference?
Yes, yes.
So that's the only difference. So it is just for like look and feel. That's all.
Mhm. Okay. And now on that changing and using.
Yeah. So changing using what we are, why we are using. So for
Hmm.
in this case, it is not required first of all, but we want some scenario so that we can use this. Okay.
Mhm.
So in some case, what is happening? For example, we have very small code here, right? We have
Hmm.
in here. we have only single line code, but suppose here we have 1,000 line of code, just imagine. Okay, and there I will declare some local variable.
Okay.
Okay, and I will call some form perform from here. Okay,
Okay.
and that local variable cannot be accessible inside the other form perform because it is local to this particular form and perform.
Okay.
Okay, so instead of that, or that is the one reason, so we can pass those variable by using or changing. Okay, so first
Okay.
let's understand using. So
Okay.
what is the, for example, here I am not mentioning anything, और अगर मुझे पता करना है what all variables I have used inside this, then we
Okay.
have to go and check each and every line, right? And if I mention those variable by this keyword using, then we can easily understand, okay, this form is using these many of variables. Okay, this
Okay.
is the second use. And the changing is so that user can understand, okay, what this form is changing, what all variable it is changing.
Okay.
So this is
Okay.
to help
Understand.
the user. So when you debug big program by looking into this using and changing parameter, you can understand, okay, these tables this program is using, and these tables or variable this program is changing this particular
Okay.
form. So it will be easy to understand also.
Okay. Okay. Understand.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so Avni sir, do you have any doubt?
Uh, Sorry, Abhishek, but can we write this perform inside the include, means in ZFib F01 include?
Which perform?
These two perform, calculate, changing,
See,
perform,
if
print,
we have to
output,
call
using.
this, then we have to write in our end of selection. Otherwise, how here I
Okay.
can have, like I can write anything, right? But if I do not call this, so F01 will not
Yes.
call directly. Okay, so we have to call from here all the form. So here we can have all the forms, and these forms we can call from where?
Okay.
Either from
Okay.
here or from inside any form. But यहाँ से कुछ ना कुछ उसका लिंक होना चाहिए, right? अदरवाइज कैसे पता चलेगा क्या आपको एग्जीक्यूट करना है? यहाँ पे मेरे 1000 फंक्शन है, फॉर एग्जांपल 1000 फॉर्म है, फॉर एग्जांपल यहाँ पे, लेकिन जो मैं यहाँ से कॉल करूंगा वही कॉल होगा, राइट?
Okay. But how it got interlinked linked with that include F01? Because of event.
No, so this is nothing but a definition declaration. Okay, so here we have declared the form, and definition I have provided here. So it will, what it will do when I call this, it will search in the
Okay.
program where the form is available. So form is
Yes.
available before this before calling this only, right?
Okay. Yes. But when you write this to perform, and when you activated this code, you selected the include on in which you wanted this code to be activated, right?
Yes, yes.
So that's why that got interlinked with F01 and this to perform with F01.
No, actually this, see, ये हमने just segregate किया है. What we can do, we can इससे सारा कोड निकाल के हम यहाँ लिख सकते हैं टॉप यहाँ पे.
Yes, yes.
जस्ट हमने वहां पे प्लेस किया है, दैट्स ऑल. अगर हम यहाँ की जगह यहाँ पे भी लिख देंगे ना वो, तो यहाँ पे भी सर्च करेगा वो. अभी जैसे क्या करेगा, ये
अच्छा.
सबसे पहले टॉप में सर्च करेगा, मिला नहीं मिला, फिर क्या करेगा इसमें सर्च करेगा, फिर क्या करेगा इसमें सर्च मिलेगा, तीनों में नहीं मिलेगा तो इस वाले प्रोग्राम में भी सर्च करेगा, कहीं नहीं मिलेगा तो एरर दे देगा कि
But
डिफाइन नहीं है.
means my question is my concern is that this
वी
to
आर नॉट
perform.
इंटरलिंकिंग एनीथिंग. ओके, इसमें
But
इंटरलिंक कुछ नहीं है.
if you double click on include F01, you will find the same perform whatever you have written in the separate
या दिस
yeah
इज द
this.
फॉर्म.
Okay. And
ओके,
here form calculate changing p output.
या
So this got assigned into this include na.
हाँ, क्योंकि
What?
मैंने इंक्लूड सेलेक्ट किया था. क्यों मैंने सेलेक्ट किया था? क्योंकि मैं सारे
Yes,
फंक्शन अपना यहाँ पे लिखना चाहता हूँ.
yes, yes.
सी देखो,
At the
जैसे
time
मैंने
of
कल तुम्हें
active.
एग्जांपल दिया था, फॉर एग्जांपल दिस इज माय मूवी फोल्डर, दिस इज माय सॉन्ग फोल्डर, दिस इज माय पिक्चर फोल्डर. अब मुझे कौन सी
Yes.
चीज कहाँ डालना है, दैट आई कैन डिसाइड, राइट?
So that
अगर
we
आप
have to decide at the time of active.
at the time of creation
At the time of creation.
of this form. For example,
How can you just?
okay, so let me create one more perform. Okay, so perform, and here, for example, what I can give, get data. Okay,
Mhm.
so this function I have to create. Now what all option I have? या तो मैं यहाँ टॉप में जाके यहाँ पे फॉर्म परफॉर्म क्रिएट कर सकता हूँ, मैं लिख सकता हूँ फॉर्म गेट डेटा, ओके, एंड फॉर्म।
Okay.
आई कैन राइट दिस,
And form.
बट मैं यहाँ पे क्यों लिखूंगा? क्योंकि इसका पर्पस ये है क्या?
नहीं
नहीं है, राइट? तो मैं यहाँ पे नहीं लिखूंगा, मैं क्या करूंगा, यहाँ पे जाके लिखूंगा। लेकिन इसका पर्पस भी वो है क्या?
नहीं, get
नहीं
data
है,
नहीं।
राइट?
Yes.
मैंने वो क्यों बनाया है? ये मैंने इसलिए बनाया कि यहाँ पे मैं अपने सारे फॉर्म लिख पाऊं। यहाँ पे मैं
Okay.
लिखूंगा, एंड यहाँ पे आई कैन राइट,
Uh-huh.
इधर आई कैन राइट बाय माई सेल्फ, राइट फॉर्म गेट डेटा एंड फॉर्म,
Okay.
एंड ये लिखा गया। लो, अगर मैं इसको एक्टिवेट
Okay.
करूंगा फॉर एग्जांपल नाउ,
Mhm.
तो इट हैज क्रिएटेड दिस फॉर्म। अगर मैं यहाँ पे वापस जाऊंगा, इस पे क्लिक करूंगा, इट विल ओपन दिस।
Okay. Okay. Understand.
ओके, अगर मैंने यहाँ पे नहीं लिखा फॉर एग्जांपल ये, ठीक है, फॉर
Mhm.
एग्जांपल इट एक्टिवेट, अभी एरर देगा वो। फॉर एग्जांपल मैंने यहाँ पे नहीं लिखा है, ठीक है, अब मैं इसको डबल क्लिक करूंगा, अगर नहीं लिखा है तो मुझे बोलेगा कि क्रिएट ही नहीं है ऑब्जेक्ट, डू यू वांट टू क्रिएट?
Okay.
यस। अब कहाँ पे क्रिएट करना है आपको? आपको नया इंक्लूड बनाना है, या फिर आपको इसी प्रोग्राम में क्रिएट करना है, या फिर आपको
Mhm.
किसी पर्टिकुलर इंक्लूड में करना है? तो मुझे इस इंक्लूड में करना है। क्यों इस इंक्लूड में करना है? क्योंकि इंक्लूड ही मैंने इसलिए बनाया कि मैं सारे अपने फॉर्म यहाँ पे सेव कर पाऊं।
Okay. Okay.
समझ रहे हो? मैं कुछ भी सिलेक्ट कर सकता हूँ यहाँ पे, लेकिन मैंने इंक्लूड क्यों बनाया? व्हाट इज द पर्पस टू क्रिएट दिस इंक्लूड? तो वो इस इंक्लूड में जाके क्रिएट कर देगा।
Okay. Understand.
एंड वी कैन एक्टिवेट दिस।
Yes.
अभी इसमें कोई डाउट है?
No.
ओके, चलो तो हम लोग अवनिशा, तुम्हें भी नहीं होगा, राइट?
नहीं नहीं, रिकनेक्ट करते हैं, 1
हाँ
मिनट ही
हाँ
बचा है।
हाँ हाँ, रिकनेक्ट करके हम वहां पे फिर दूसरा टॉपिक स्टार्ट करते हैं। ओके।